what would that record be?
The tackle record?
Yeah.
It's definitely a goal I've had. I mean, I think, when you look at the people who've come here that played linebacker, to be in the conversation of passing them up is something that's real special. I came here and when I got switched over to linebacker, I looked at their record and I said, I told Coach Woody at the time and I told Brian at the time actually that I wanted to achieve that record and to be on the heels of breaking it is something special.
Are you kind of glad you didn't break it last week so you could do it at home? Likely do it at home?
I mean, it'd be nice if I get to do it at home. I mean, I would have loved to have done it last week, to add on to it this week. But to do it at home and in front of our fans, and especially on senior night, if I were able to break it, it would be something really special, for my family and everyone, close to me to see, and the fans that have been here to see.
You were here for McNeese State, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was your freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever think you'd be here now?
Absolutely. It sounds, cliche and stuff, but I think, Coach T, when he got here, he had a vision, and he got a lot of people to buy into that vision, and I was one of them. And you look at our team now, and it's a group of competitive guys, but that culture wasn't here when we got here. Me being a leader, I thought, I helped that process of helping guys, be competitive and getting us, guys to believe in themselves. I think, after McNeese State, everyone had doubts about us, but I think the people from within, believed.
Talk about your journey. I mean, I don't know how many offers you got out of high school. Was this the best one? I mean,
This is the best one.
How many others did you get?
I mean, coming down, throughout my career, I think, out of high school, I always wanted the bigger offer. I probably had around a dozen, but none, one, that's counting one AA. And Coach T came here, and I came on an official visit here, and he sat me down in the Muma Center, the basketball thing. He said, we want you to play fullback. At that time, I said, I didn't want to play fullback. I didn't want to come to college. I didn't want to play offense. I was a good defensive player in high school. He sits me down, and it comes down to signing day. Me and Nigel, I think, were our last two commits that year. And it comes. I had two offers on signing day. It was Toledo or USF, and I didn't want to go to Toledo, so I kind of took the pill and came here to play fullback. When I got here and played fullback, I didn't want to play fullback at all. That spring, I was pretty miserable. I didn't want to play. I thought about transferring. I really didn't want to be here. I went up to Coach T. Coach T believed in me. I believed in myself. He gave me a chance. Once I got that chance, I kind of took off from there.
And now you're here.
Now I'm here. Yeah.
Did you believe that you'd be here, like on the verge of all the Americans back then? Or did you always believe it?
I mean, when I got moved to linebacker, I believed in myself at that time. It was funny because I was just sitting on the sideline like, I moved to linebacker just to sit on the sideline. They called me in on a 9-on-7 period. The first two plays, it was power. I shot the gap. I made 2 tackles. And, at that time, I think I believed in myself, but I finally got to have the coaches and the people say, hey, this kid, wants to play. This kid wants to be a part of this program. This kid, is driven. And now that I'm here, it is something special. Like I said, when it started, I said I wanted that record, and I kind of set my mind to it. I worked for it, and now I am here.
When you told us who's going to be on the field, who's going to be on the field for you?
It'll be my mom, my dad, my 2 brothers, my sister, and hopefully her 2 little kids, her 2 sons.
They have senior night every year. This one seems different or special. Does it seem that way to you with just the personalities and players that are going to be out there?
100%. I think it feels more special just because, through the growth of this program, these are kind of the guys that were at the forefront, or, we're the core group of guys that kind of built this thing. And to see the class move on and some will go to the NFL, some will, just go be good people. I think it is something really special. I think it's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's real rewarding to be in the position we are right now.
Quinn said he wasn't sure what kind of emotions he was going to have on Thursday night. What kind of emotions do you see yourself having when you get to the field?
I don't know. Hopefully I'll be excited. Probably running out at that time, seeing my family. I'm sure my mom, my sister will be crying. So, there will be, some sad times before the game because, that's just kind of how it is, running out there maybe for the last time at home. But, I'll be excited, just to go play, one final game at Ray J, but I mean, we could, in 2 weeks, we could be back here, playing in the conference championship, and that's kind of our goal. So, hopefully we won't be too sad.
Is the dream of the conference title is still very much alive for this team. How important is that this week?
I mean, this week is just as important as any week. You know, you got to go 1-0 to get there. If we lose this game, then our conference hopes are done. But we are in the driver's seat. That's something we haven't been in the last 2 years. You know, my redshirt sophomore year, we were waiting, hoping. You know, Temple lost to play Houston that year. Didn't happen. Last year, we're sitting around and we spoiled it against Houston, so we're waiting around hoping they lose again. And unfortunately, you know, they didn't. So we were just sitting at home waiting for the bowl game. This year, we control our own destiny. So, you know, if we lose, that's on us. But it's nice to be in the driver's seat for sure.
When you reflect on it, I mean, you and this class have been through the lowest of the lows and the highest of the highs. What was the low point for you, the worst moment where you said, can't get any worse?
My freshman year, when I played fullback, you know, that year was pretty tough, and that was one of our low moments. Well, my low moment here.
Do you remember the conversation, just going and requesting to play linebacker to move positions?
Oh yeah, clear as day. You know, I was talking to my family quite a bit, and you know, I was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. I don't think, you know, I was just so unhappy. I went up there and I went into Coach T's office, and he says, Augie, what you got for me? I said, Coach, I said, I don't really want to play fullback anymore. I said, I don't want to do it. And he's like, yeah, we've talked about that. I said, you have? I was like surprised because I thought, you know, fullback was you know it. And he said, yeah. He said, you're going to be one of the most badass players in the country because you're going to play fullback and linebacker. I said, really? And I was like, all right. And I was like, okay. But I was still thinking, you know, I'm going to be more towards the offensive side of the ball. But then, you know, probably a few days later, I get a text from our GA at the time, Tommy Donatel, and he goes, you're with us full time now. And, you know, that just that changed everything, you know. And for Coach Taggart to believe in me, I think that's why I respect that guy so much because, you know, he gave me a shot when everyone else did it. So, you know, just to go from there, you know, really has made my USF career and kind of made me, you know, to be the player I am.
What point of the season was that at? Toward the end of the year or the middle?
That was at the end. We had like our player eval meetings at the end, and I went in there and we talked and kind of took off from there.
That was your redshirt year, right?
That was after the redshirt year.
You never actually played fullback in a game, did you?
No, but I almost did against Louisville my freshman year. Best thing that ever happened was not playing that game.
What happened?
Well, our starting fullback at that time, Epps, he was hurt or something, didn't play. And, you know, that whole week I'm practicing with the ones, and I was going to run out there in Louisville at the time. I think Strong was there. That was the year they were really good. It's Thursday before we're going to the hotel. Coach T runs up to me. He's like, yeah, we're not going to waste your red shirt. He goes, you're going to, you know, we're going to keep you. He's like, we're going to keep you ready for next year. So that was probably one of the best moments of.
So this was after the red shirt season, the conversation you had in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
What time did you go to?
This was going into like our spring. This was like, so with T, it was always like a week after the season he would meet with everyone. So it was that time, and then spring I was able to play linebacker.
Did the bad, you know, the non-winning make the good even better? Going through all that?
Absolutely. You know, somebody has asked me before what was the best moment at USF, and I said our loss to Memphis. My sophomore year, the loss to Memphis was probably the best, you know, moment of my career here because it finally brought guys to show, hey, you know, we're tired of losing. That was the game that kind of drew the line in the sand. And I think the losing made us who we are, honestly. I think, you know, playing with an edge and people not believing in us and people not wanting, you know, anything to do with USF, that kind of made us. And I think, you know, this year when we were in the forefront, everyone was saying, hey, USF's so good. That's not how we built this thing. And then, you know, I think that loss to Houston really helped us get back to playing with an edge and kind of getting back to where we were when we first got here.
It would seem like it would be not right for you guys to all walk out of here without some kind of championship or something. You guys talked about that, and like you said, you're in control of it. You know,
Yeah.
Your destiny's all in front of you.
And we've been talking about this championship, you know, since I got here. You know, the first couple of years, like I said, we didn't get to control that. So I think, you know, every year we've had a team meeting and we said, hey, our goal is a conference championship, and we've come up short every year. And I think this year, you know, there's a sense of urgency to say, hey, you know, we really want to get this accomplished. You got a lot of guys bought in that want to get this accomplished. And then, like you said, we are in our control. We get to, you know, decide what we want to do with it.
I mean, you were asking about the emotions. Is that a real thing, like for a game like Thursday, where you got to be careful about maybe being too high or managing in a certain way because it's going to be emotional regardless?
100%. I think we got to stay, even keel. We got to come out there and be ready to go. We can't be too sad. We can't be too excited because Tulsa's a good football team. They got a really good offense that they went and smacked Houston. So they have the opportunity to do that to us. So we can't let the emotions of Senior Day get in the way because we're playing for something a lot bigger than Senior Day. We got to keep them kind of under control.
Heading to Tulsa, they have great rushing attack, and this year's that's been one of your strong suits. What do you guys have to do defensively to stop? They have 4 guys up, averaging over 5 guys a carry. What's your?
Their number 4 is a really good player, and he's probably one of the better backs we've seen all year, if not the best. I always say you got to win at the line of scrimmage. You're only as good as your defensive line. I've said that since my first interview. I'll say that till I'm done playing football. That's how you win. That's how you play and win a game. And Bruce, Deidre, Mike Love, and Greg are in control of that. And any time you play a rushing attack, you've got to be really good up front and set a new line of scrimmage. And we got to be ready for that challenge. They are the 14th best rushing offense in the country.
You're looking forward to having your senior night on this particular stage to kind of everybody can focus on this game. You're like one of the only games in town, and as opposed to being a million of them on Saturday.
100%. I think when this is kind of why you come play college football. Senior days in the past haven't really meant anything, to say the least. And I think now, to have the main stage and to have, just our game as being the only game on TV is special. It kind of lets these seniors go out in a way that they didn't come in. But anytime you get an ESPN game, you're happy about it.
What are your plans? You plan to get the evaluation for the NFL and go for there? That doesn't work out. What's your background?
I want to shoot my shot at football for as long as I can. But if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. I'd like to get into coaching, or I'd like to be a charter boat captain. One of the two. And I've made some good connections through football, and I would like to keep pursuing a career in this and see what happens. Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Auggie.